Ladies and gentlemen, gather round. Take a moment to recognize the masterpiece unfolding right before our eyes. You see, they thought they could dish out all that pain and walk away unscathed, didn't they? They painted themselves as untouchable, believing they held all the power, the ones who could break another's spirit and still sleep soundly at night. But life, oh life, has a funny way of balancing things out, doesn't it? You might call it karma, but I call it perfect timing. And now, here they are, holding the very weight they once tried to unload on you. It's too much for them to carry, and they're breaking down under the same pressure they placed on your shoulders. Isn't it ironic? They had no idea, no clue that the pain they handed you, like a twisted gift, would eventually come back to haunt them. They laughed at your struggles, turned their backs on your tears, dismissed your pain as weakness. And now, they're the ones choking on the bitter taste of their own cruelty. Their hearts are aching with the same unbearable weight. It's almost poetic. What they served you has come full circle. For them, it's a tragedy. For you, it's justice. Do you remember those nights? The endless, torturous nights when sleep felt like a distant dream and their cruel words played over and over in your head. They tried to make you feel like you were the problem, as if their actions were somehow your fault. But now look at them, trapped in the same web they wove for you, and there's no one there to catch them when they fall. No one to soothe their wounds. They're seeing firsthand the hell they once created for you. It's almost laughable, isn't it? The way they scramble now, trying to find comfort, trying to outrun the shadows they cast over your life. They thought they could just sweep it all under the rug, pretend it never happened. But the pain they inflicted, it doesn't just vanish. It lingers, it festers. And when they least expect it, it knocks on their door, demanding attention. Now they have to face the monster they created. They're starting to understand, piece by piece, the depths of their actions, the empty words, the sharp criticisms, the disregard for your feelings. It's flashing before their eyes like a cruel movie reel, except now, they're the ones starring in the horror show. Every ounce of hurt they threw your way has become their burden to carry, and it's heavy. They're stumbling, feeling every jab and cut they once aimed at you, and there's no escaping it. No distraction strong enough to numb the pain. Do they regret it? I wonder. Maybe they're too proud to admit it. They probably won't say it out loud. Not yet. They'll try to keep up the brave front, pretend it doesn't bother them. But you and I both know the truth. We can see the cracks. The facade that once seemed so strong is starting to crumble. They may hide it from the world, but deep down, they're feeling every ounce of the hurt they put you through. The irony? They're facing it all alone, just as they left you to face your pain. They'll tell themselves it's just a rough patch, that they'll get through it without changing a thing. They'll cling to their pride, refusing to acknowledge their role in your suffering. But every time they try to walk away from the hurt, it will follow them, like a shadow. The ghost of every wound they inflicted on you. No matter how far they run, there's no hiding from it. They'll have to sit with it, feel every sharp edge of the pain they once dished out so freely. And in that silence, with no one left to blame, no one to lean on, they'll begin to understand the weight of their actions. They'll finally see how easy it was for them to tear you down, to leave you stranded in the darkness they created. And maybe, just maybe, they'll feel a flicker of regret, a small recognition of their wrongs. But by that time, you'll be long gone. Too far out of reach, too strong to care, they'll call it unfair. They'll say life dealt them a bad hand. But here's the truth. Life doesn't play favorites. It simply returns what's given. And they gave cruelty. They sowed pain. They nurtured bitterness. Now they're reaping all of it, and it's more than they can bear. They thought they were invincible, untouchable. But the universe has a funny way of proving otherwise.
They'll find themselves surrounded by emptiness, trying to fill the void they left in you. They'll reach out, hoping for comfort, for understanding. But all they'll get is silence, indifference, just like they once gave you. And in that silence, they'll realize what it's like to feel abandoned, to feel like no one cares. The tables have turned, and now they're the ones left out in the cold, searching for warmth that isn't there. As the days go by, the weight will grow heavier, pressing down on them like a stone. They'll feel small, insignificant, just as they made you feel. They'll look around, hoping someone will lift the burden, but no one will be there to ease the pain they once caused. They'll feel every bit of it, and it will bring them to their knees. Maybe, just maybe in that moment, they'll finally understand the depth of their actions. Their confidence, their pride, it'll fade. The person they once thought they were will become a hollow shell. They'll see their reflection and barely recognize themselves, haunted by the pain they created. And in that mirror, they'll see you, standing tall, unbroken. They'll realize that you survived what they couldn't bear. You were stronger than they ever gave you credit for. And that realization will cut deeper than any words they ever spoke. But here's the beautiful part. While they're trapped in their own nightmare, you're free. Free from the pain, the doubt, the fear they tried to plant in your heart. You walked away stronger, wiser. And they're left clinging to the shattered pieces of the life they thought they controlled. They're trapped in a cage of their own making, and the key is nowhere to be found. They thought they could move on, but your memory will linger, a constant reminder of what they lost, of the person they tried to break but couldn't. Every smile you wear, every step you take, will remind them of the strength they underestimated. And while they're haunted by regret, you're living a life they'll never have, a life filled with peace, strength, and freedom. They'll try to erase the memories, try to drown them out with distractions or empty promises to themselves that they've changed. But deep down, no amount of diversion will wash away the ache of your absence, the quiet echo of everything they did to push you away. They'll tell themselves they're fine, that they don't need you, but every time they're alone, every time they close their eyes, there you'll be. You with your strength, your kindness, your unwavering ability to walk away when they thought they had you tethered to their games. The echoes will get louder. There's no turning the volume down. They'll search for you in others, hoping to find solace or validation. But each time they'll come up empty, finding only hollow replacements for the person they pushed away. You were one of a kind. Your presence can't be mimicked, no matter how hard they search. And in that aching space left behind by you, they'll feel the full weight of their choices. They'll realize bit by bit that they lost you, and it was all they're doing. They underestimated you. They thought your kindness was weakness, your patience a sign of surrender. But they never saw that you were simply giving them a chance to rise above their games. And now as they reflect, they'll understand what they missed, what they threw away. The regret will settle in like a cold shadow they can't shake. They might try to reach out to apologize, hoping for redemption. But by then, you've moved on. You've found peace, while they're left wrestling with the choices that haunt them. No apology can undo the damage they caused, and they'll realize this too, slowly, eventually. The reality will sting sharper than they ever imagined. They'll see that while they tried to break you, you were growing, blossoming into someone they'll only see from afar. So let them sit with their guilt. Let them face the consequences of their actions. They lost something they'll never find again. Let them live with the silence you left behind, the silence that speaks louder than words ever could, a silence filled with strength, with resilience, a reminder of the person they underestimated. And that silence will be the loudest message of all, one that haunts them every single day.